Okay, so uh, so we have 6 tables, but we don't have much records in these tables, right? So let's just do this. Now, there are two ways you can insert your records. I think I showed you that before. You can insert your record with by specifying the columns values, the column names. That's the one we started with initially. But in the last class, I showed us another way of inserting records, and this time we didn't include the column names, right? We didn't include the column names. We didn't include the column names. So let me just show you. We can say, let me do it here because this I not work out fine. Insert records. So we can say um, insert into what? That's the table name. Now, ideally, I would put columns, right? Then maybe the column names, which since I have an auto increment column, I will just say cohort name and cohort date, right? Ideally, then I can say values, then I'll put my values. So this way, I don't have to put what's it called? I don't have to put the ID because it is auto increment. I don't have to put the ID because it's auto increment, right? I think some people are here to join us. So let's just say I put the cohort name. The cohort name. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. We can say product design. Uh, product design. Let's say Hamatan 2024. The cohort dates. I can say 2024. That is around November, December. I can let's say 12. Then let me say 13. Right? So this is one record. This is just one record I'm putting into this. Okay, what is the error here? Why are we having an error?
Column is not supposed to be before open brackets quote name.
Good. So where should it be?
There's not supposed to be column there.
Good. Now, if you see this now, if you run this again, we are having an error. Why are we having an error? Read the error. Read the error.
The
I think
cohorts,
inconsistency in your cohorts.
the cohorts and cohort dates, the spelling is not
You
correct.
spell
Thank
correctly.
you. Spelling. So you can see it. The error is saying column court date of relation court. That means of relation, that's the table, does not exist. So you go and check court date. Okay, court date. Because my column names, there is no court date there. So before you just complain this thing, look at the error itself. What is the error telling you? Because the error will point you to the mistake and it will guide you on how to solve it. So now let's do this again. And okay, so it works fine now, right? Insert 0, 1. Now, you can see here I am putting the column names. Now, if I do select all from cohorts, right? Let's see. We're having an error. What's the error saying?
Incorrect spelling.
Is the error saying incorrect spelling?
No.
What's the error
Relation
saying?
cohort.
Yes,
Relation cohort does not exist.
thank you. So what does that mean? That cause does not exist. In this case, incorrect spelling, just like you said, right?
Yeah.
Good. So let's look at this now. So if I change, so I'm showing you guys, you are seeing now how to debug. So you can see and voila, we have one record. Can you see how we are putting the values? The date data type, we are putting it in quotes, even though it's a date data type, but actually it's in quotes, as you can see. Now you can see that I didn't include the cohort ID, right? But you can see we have a record, and the cohort ID column has been filled. Auto increment. So I can come here and say another one. I can say full stack development. I can still use this Amatan. I change the time. I can say this one is 11th, that's November. Then this one, let's say 9th of November. Now, if I insert this into this, query it successfully, you can see I'm not putting the column ID value. I'm only putting two columns there. This is not again. I dislike this nonsense. I don't know why this is. I don't know. I don't know if this is subject to me, but it's general. I don't know.
I'm experiencing the same thing, sir.
I don't know why it puts just like this. Create a new table. Create a new table. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this, right? And open a new query tool. I don't know why this is doing this. I really don't know why. But let me just create a new query tool. It's sort of like it's timing itself. After some time, it won't respond again. Okay, so let's run. I hope, okay, let's run this. I hope it is not duplicates now. Okay, so that has worked successfully. So we should have two records, right? We should have two records. You can see this. Now, if we run it again, we are going to have a duplicate. If we run this, we'll have three records, but we'll have duplicates, as you can see. Now, suppose we run this and we don't put a value here for the date. I don't put a value for the date, right? Let's say I just come here and put, what's the third track we are doing? Full stack. That's data analytics. Data analytics. Right? And I don't know if I should run this, you guys might see an error, and I want you to help me debug the error. We don't have an error. Okay. Now, no value anyways. We should see no value somewhere. This not started again. It has started again. I don't like this at all. At all. I'm not using CLI to write in this queries like this. Now, I think we should have an error. Can you see the error? What is the error saying? Syntax error near bracket, closing bracket. Can we see it? So,
yes,
the syntax error is telling you where the error is coming from. Near. So you have to look at it. You look around that place. When they say near, you can see now. So what is wrong here? What is wrong?
the date.
The
Not
The date is not complete.
It's not the date. Look again.
is the comma and the space.
The comma.
And the space. Yeah.
I can even put space there. But the comma is the main thing there. Now, look at, I'm inserting into table cohorts. I'm putting two columns, right? Cohort name and cohort dates. And the values I'm putting, how many values am I putting?
2.
No. One. Because everything here is wrapped in a single quote. So I can put many, many things, but it's wrapped in a single quote. In single quote. So that's just one value, one element. Right? Now, if I run this, now observe this. What is it saying?
Insert has more targets columns than expression.
What is it telling you? It has more target columns. because the target columns are the columns I've put here, which are two, cohort name and cohort date. Whereas I am putting just one value. Do you not get it now?
Yes, yes.
So what can I do? I can remove this column and I can run this. Now, if I should run this, you can see it ran successfully, right? And if I should run this now, I have no value somewhere. Can you see it? Record 4. Now, why am I having no value? I'm having no value because when I created the column and the table, I didn't specify that any column should not accept no values. Do we get? I didn't enforce it that a column should not accept no values. If I were to enforce that, what would I put? If I were to enforce that,
Not
what
null.
consequence? Not null. Thank you. So if I had put a not null in any of those two columns, this query will not work because you tell me that you are trying to put in a null value in a column, whereas it is not acceptable. Do you get it now? Are we getting this, please? So this is one way to insert record. Another way to insert record is me not even putting the column names. Sorry, what do you say?
I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
So, what you did initially was I say insert into cohort. You now put after the cohort, you added column, right?
The column names, yes.
Like no, without the column name, like you add column before you now put the column names. That is cohort name and cohort date. Was that the first you did?
Yes.
When we were having error, or when you were trying to put in the record without dates, it was giving us error. So
Yes.
I think you now went back, cleaned the column. That's after cohort where you had column.
Okay,
Then
yes,
it
that was
accepted.
the first one. Yes, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure what you
So
did.
this is the right syntax. Method 1, you specify the column names. However, you can choose to insert record without specifying the column names. Right? So I can just say insert into cohort. But this method, if I don't put the column names, what it means is the expression I am putting in, which I mean the values, has to match the columns that exist in that table. Let me do that again. If you are not specifying the columns and you want to just go like this, the method 2, the values you are inserting has to match the columns of that table. So what does that mean? That means that if I should run this and I say data analytics, Harmattan 2024, I put in a value for the date, let's say 2024, let's say 11 as November, then let's say, or let's say Boxing Day, December 26, right? Now, if I do it like this, I'm gonna run this. Guys, can you see something? Now, we haven't queried one successfully. This should never run successfully. I thought as much. Should not run successfully. So that nonsense has happened again. I need to find a way to solve this issue. So let's run this and let me show you something now. Let's run this. Now, what is the error? How can we fix this? What is the error?
The comma in between 12 and 26. It's not meant to be there. Oh, yes. My bad.
No, look at it. Just read it. Don't just read it. Read the error. Invalid what?
Invalid input syntax for type integer.
For type what? Integer.
Integer.
Now, it now points at the value. What is the value?
That's the data analytics Harmattan 2024.
Good. What data type is that value?
It's supposed to be what do you say? Data type?
What data type is that value? The value you just said now. What data type is it?
Virtual.
Virtual.
right?
Bacha.
But so you can now see that he's saying you are putting a virtual data into a column that's supposed to be integer. Why is that?
Okay.
Because of the column ID that we did not add.
Yeah.
Because when you are using this method, thank you, Lara. Like I said, you have to match the exact columns of that table. Remember. So what is the first column of that table?
ID.
ID.
Cohort ID.
Cohort ID. What is the data type of that column?
Integer.
Integer.
Does this error now make sense?
Serial. Primary key.
No, primary key is not data type. Oh.
I said integer now.
Integer. I had primary key. So do you understand this error now? Is it making sense?
Yes, it
Yes.
So how do we
But I have
correct?
a question. I have a question, Mr. Dams.
Okay, what's your question?
When you are inserting the first order 2 or 3, you didn't include the cohort ID and it came out successful. So how come this one is not coming out successful?
That is what we are saying. There are two ways to insert records into your table.
Okay.
The first one was what we did, that we didn't include the cohort ID. This one that you can see here. So let me just put it as method 1. Do you get? This way, you have to specify the columns, but you don't necessarily have to put the column ID if it is a ID that auto-increments itself. That means you have probably used serial or generated all this as identity. But if you had used integer as the primary key of the data type of that column, and you didn't specify that it should generate itself as identity, or you didn't specify that it should be serial, you have to manually put it. But if you use a serial data type, which is auto increment, you don't have to put it. So this is method 1. Specify the column names, then you specify the values. Albeit, you don't have to put the value for the primary key. Do you get that? However, this method 2, you don't need to specify the column names, but you need to specify all the values that will be attached to that column or that will be inserted in that column. Does it make sense now, IJ?
Yeah, it does.
Thank you. So now we're putting 3. Let me use data analytics and my time. So we're putting this now. So if I should run this, let's see what we have. Now, we are having a different error. What is the error saying?
It's
Invalid syntax
Invalid
for
the
type
date.
date.
The
syntax for
date.
type
The
date.
comma.
Do you now see it?
That's
So
comma between the
invalid
12 and
input.
26.
That means we are putting the way Postgres expect dates to be inserted is not the way we are putting it. We are violating the syntax because syntax are the rules and regulations, the ethics and the ethos of a programming language or a tool. In this case, we have violated the syntax of PostgreSQL. Hence, we are having an error. So what do? We change this and make it what? The right way. And by the time we insert this record, are we going to have another error? Maybe yes, maybe no. But we're not having another error. Now let's run this and see. Oh my gosh, this is not nice at all. Now let's run this again. I want you guys to see something. Now, what are we having again? Another error. Now you can see I'm deliberately doing this so we can see how we can learn how to debug, how to understand errors and how to debug it. What is this error saying?
Column cohort ID is an identity column defined as generated always. Cannot insert into column cohort ID.
So what do we need to do?
Insert into, okay, which means you're not expected to write the 3 like the cohort ID.
Do you now see it now? Good. So let's run this and see. You can see we have another error again. Do you see this?
Yes.
Yes, this error is because of the method we are using.
Thank you. So what should come to your mind based on this? What should come to your mind is if you want to use the generated always, that is this way, where is it again? This way, right? If you want to use if you are using generated always as identity as your, of course, your integer, you cannot use this method to insert record.
Oh,
This method too. Do you get? Because generated, just like we saw here, it expects that it will generate itself. It is an identity column and it is defined as generated always. So it does not expect that you will insert record in it because it will generate itself always. So that means this method of trying to insert record into your table and you are not going to put in a value will not work for this. It might work for serial data type. Are you getting it now? But it won't work for this. Do you get what we're saying? So what can we do? We can now use this method. I will just copy this and paste it here. That's method 1, right? And we can now put in our values. So if I come here, I can put in, let me just copy this date. So am I putting a value for the column the court ID? Yes or no?
No.
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 What will happen when I click on run to the court ID
To be
column?
successful, it will generate
Auto
itself.
generate
Auto generate
itself.
because of this command that we have put, generated always. Do you not get it? However, if we try it with serial, serial will also auto generate. But the thing with serial is, like I said, you can see with serial, you can still use this other method and you will not put in a value here. Serial will auto increment itself and it will not flag that, oh, you need to do this thing. So this one can work with serial. This one, if you are using generated, if you're using identity and putting generated always, you always have to use this method. But usually, serial is better. If you are good to go, if you use serial, you don't have to bother yourself about it. But the other thing with identity is that you can specify the starting value for the primary key and you can specify how you want it to auto increment. Maybe by every 5 steps, every 10 steps, every 100 steps, depending on what you're trying to do. Do you get that now? That's just the difference. Now, we have no value. What column do we have enough value? Sorry, what record do we have enough value?
What date?
Record 4.
Record 4. So we want to remove that record. Remove no value. How can we do that? How can we do that? We want to remove the record that has no values.
Maybe drop row.
Drop row. Okay, let's try that. So if we say drop row, so what row are we dropping?
Row 4. The 4th row.
Okay, let's see this. So this is wrong syntax. This won't work. Now, I said before, let me correct that. When you are dealing with the schema of the table, right, the core schema, such as the table itself or the columns, we use the alter command, right?
Delete.
We use the alter command. Then you can now maybe add column, drop column, or rename column, or whatever you want to do. However, when we are dealing with the records, I said what? What do we do? We use the update or delete directly.
Or delete. Yeah.
Are we getting this, please?
Yes.
So, after this understanding now, how do we go about it? We want to remove record 4. Is record 4 a row or a column? Let me also say record again. Is it a row or a column?
It's a rule.
A row. So
I'm
how do we
using
now delete it? So delete. So if you want to delete it, what can we do? We can say delete Delete from what table?
Cohorts.
What table?
Cohorts.
So how do we specify that we are trying to delete from record 4?
From.
Where cohort ID
is equals to 4.
Where cohort ID is equals to what? 4. Another way we can do this is what? If you don't want to use the cohort ID to specify, we can say delete from cohort, right? Where what? You can say where cohort date is equals to null, right?
Okay.
But you forgot to. I've said it before. You cannot say it equals to null. That's what is null. Let's try equals to null so you see what we're talking about. If you run this, now I can see. I hope I just give me a minute. I fear this stuff has happened again. Excuse me, please. Let's run this again. Now you can see data successfully, the query ran successfully. Let's run select all from this. Can you see that we are still seeing this record? Right? And we ran this, it was showing successful, remember? Right? Successful. But if we run this select all, we are still seeing the record 4. So you can see that it's not appropriate to use is equals to, just say is not. So if we run this now, let's see this. Successful. Now let's run this. And you see now. Do you see the difference, guys? Are we together, please?
Mr. Dance, but there were situations where we were using equals to now and it was working.
You don't use equal to for null. You can use equal to for other things, maybe integer values, maybe the decimal values, maybe string, but not null. Null is usually is.
Okay, sir.
Take note of that. Now, we have a table called student performance, right? Let me say. So we have full stack. So let me delete. I want to delete record 3. How do we do that? We can just use, let's use this. We can say this is record 3, where I put ID equals to 3. So you can see this now, record 3. Then if we do record of course, record 3 should be gone. Do we get this now? So when you're dealing with rows or records, you can use the delete command or the update command. When you're dealing with the column names itself or the table name, then you have to use the alter. Because you have to alter the table, then you can now perform something. Maybe you want to add a new column, you want to rename a new column, you want to rename the data, you want to change the data type or stuff. But if you're dealing with the records, you use delete or update. Do you understand this, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. So we have seen 2 ways to insert records. You can use this, that means specifying the column names. That way, you don't have to specify the primary key because auto increment will take care of itself. Or you don't put the column names, but you have to specify the primary key. That's the actual primary key. You have to write everything and that's to match. Right? So that's 2 methods of inserting. Now, let's look at our student performance table. Student performance table. Now, I want to make cohorts. You can see we have no record. I want to make cohorts. As at now, if you look at the student performance table, we have how many constraints? We have just 3 constraints. Can we see these guys on my Object Explorer? We have the student performance primary key. We have the student performance student ID foreign key and student performance track ID foreign key. But I need to make cohort a foreign key. Are we together? I need to make cohort a foreign key. So what can I do? Who can tell me? Take note. Cohort data type is varying character. That's virtual. So I want to make cohort a foreign key. What can I do?
Excuse me, Mr. Adams. From your output, I can see that we have primary key, but I cannot see all the foreign keys.
Okay. Look at the constraint. Can you see the constraint on the Object Explorer?
Oh, from the left-hand side.
Yes, please.
Okay, I've seen it.
Good.
I've
So
seen
you
it.
can see this, there are two foreign keys. So my question is, we want to add another foreign key, which is cohort. So what can we do? Or what can we do about it?
I think we'll alter table.
Okay, so if we alter the table, what do we do when we alter the table? Alia.
Then update.
Okay, so we're not going to update. Take note, the data type of cohort is what? Varchar. A foreign key in this context, because our primary key, now in the cohort table now, in the cohort table, what data type is the primary key?
Integer.
Integer. So you would agree with me that the data type of this cohort column does not match the primary key of the cohort table. True or false?
True.
So we can change the data type, right? There are other ways we can go about it. We can delete this cohort column, then create a new cohort ID column, right? Just as we have student ID, track ID, we can now create a cohort ID column, then make that a foreign key. We can do that, right? And we can choose to just modify this one. Do we get?
Let's dive deep.
Are we guys together?
I am
Yes,
here.
sir. Yeah, me too, sir.
So which of the method do we use? Do we delete this column first, then create a new column, or we just modify this one? We know we have to change the name also. We have to change the name. Remember, we have to change the name. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do the second method. Let's change the name and the data type. So if you want to change the name, don't forget, we can just come here and say, sorry, let me just come here. I hope this thing still works fine. Modify the cohort column in the student performance table and make it a foreign key. So we want to change the column. What command do we use?
Alter.
Sir, alter.
Alter. So we alter the table, right? So we say alter
Yeah.
table. Whatever we're dealing with, student performance, right? What do we need to do again? We need to change the column name. Remember, right? So we can say rename what? Cohort to what? We did this before now, cohort ID, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's run this query again. Select all from student performance. Yes. Okay, so this is the alter query that we just ran again. Now let me run the select all from student performance table. So can you see it now?
Yes.
Any question? Is this clear?
Hey,
Sorry,
Mr.
I have a
Ram,
question, sir.
What's your question, Ibrahim?
Yeah, when we try to alter the table, why don't we specify the data type, or we just leave it at the same as varying characters?
We are going to do that.
Okay.
Yes, Lara.
did you have to use the name table? I was thinking just do alter student performance.
No, alter table, then the table name. Just like create table, the table name. Just like drop table, table name. Do you get that?
All right, sir.
All right, thank you. Now, we now want to, so we have changed the name of the table. So what do we want to do next? The data type, right? Right? So now we are dealing with data type now. So the type of the data type is variant character. So we are not using the name again. So we can say alter. What column is that? Column ID, right? Alter column ID type to what? Integer. Integer. Are we seeing this, guys? What is the current data type? Variant character. Let me just run this because of the time. We have just less than 1 minute. Okay, so we're having an error here. Let me see. So when we come back in the next session, we'll look at this error together, right? So we can look at this error together.